servers are just taking your orders and bringing food. We're ready to commence. Just a little reminder, if you have your phones on, please switch them off. Thank you so much. I'm Dee Davey, and I'm filling in for Derek Maribon. Derek couldn't be here, but he says hi. And hello to all our video stream watchers. Glad you could join us. Who is here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome to Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing. The format for those who haven't been here before, we start off with a few announcements. We then will introduce our speaker, and our speaker will talk for about 30-35 minutes. You will then have a chance to open up any questions that you have. So as Marissa is speaking, if you have any questions, jot them down. And then at the end of the meeting, we will be passing the mic to do introductions. So that's the format. We are a 503c nonprofit, and we don't ask for any registration fees or dues. You don't have to become a member, but we do things in an old-fashioned, traditional way, and we pass the hat. Stacy, our treasurer from Dollar Bill Copying, is going to kick off the hat. We do recommend a $3 donation, but it's optional, no pressure. The funds from the collection go to pay off hard costs for the running of LA2M. And also, we are sponsoring the Ann Arbor Public Schools Education Foundation scholarships. We'll be donating on an annual basis to help students in the Ann Arbor High School area learn about marketing. So the funds will be going to sending them for marketing events, conventions, doing marketing training if they need books, any way that we can help them learn about marketing, advertising, promotion, PR, so that we're generating new marketers for the future of our local community. We have a special announcement for all of you sports fans out there. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Stacy.
All right, I'll do my best. Okay, the tournament. Everybody knows the tournament's coming, so Derek's making me. Okay, so the first thing is Friday from 2 to 5 at the Brickyard, which is where Genix is come watch the games, have snacks, hang out with all your LA2M buddies. That's the first thing. So Derek wants to see everybody there. And second of all, you have to do your bracket before tomorrow. Your LA2M bracket to win prizes. We got a Conroe Meals gift card, Starbucks gift card. So it's LA2M Hoop It Up at Yahoo. But you can find it on the newsletter. The newsletter that you get, just go there and click on it.
Yahoo actually has prizes too.
Yeah, Yahoo, I saw that too. Yahoo has prizes too, it's like big giant prizes. I didn't know if I did that. I didn't know how to do it, but if I can do it, everybody can do it. So fill in your brackets and we can all have fun, and then Derek will announce the winner when it's all done in however many weeks it takes.
Thank you, Stacy. For those who don't know what a bracket is, see Stacy afterwards. I also want to thank the LA2M newsletter sponsor, Bloom Roofing. Do we have Bloom Roofing here today? Bloom Roofing provides commercial roofing solutions. So if you are a contractor, know of contractors who need roofing, we highly recommend Bloom. So no further announcements. I've taken enough time. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Marissa Smith. Marissa is the founder of the Whole Brain Group. And how many of you don't know Whole Brain Group? I mean, this company is just Ann Arbor. Very well respected. And she's going to be talking about how to really identify your ideal client so that you're not wasting their time and they're not wasting your time and driving you absolutely crazy. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marissa.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes? No. Okay. Like this? Is that any better? Okay. I'll stand like this. I'll try to move this up a little bit more. How about that? Better?
No.
How about if I just talk really loud? All right, good.
Thank you.
I used to be a voice major in college, so I'll use my diaphragmatic breathing, and I could sing the whole thing, I guess. So welcome. Thank you very much for having me. As Dee said, I'm the owner of the Whole Brain Group, and we are a marketing company down on Ann Street between Main and 4th. You may have seen our sign out front. And I wanted to give this presentation today because it's been a topic dear to our hearts in the last couple of years as we are growing and working with a lot of growing companies ourselves. And we kept kind of hearing this theme emerging over and over again, not necessarily with our own clients, but with some of the clients that we're working with, and they're talking about, gosh, as we're growing and changing, our companies are changing. Sometimes our customers stop fitting the way we're trying to work. And so we started to implement some things in our own company to help our customers figure out who they are trying to market to, which seems like a no-brainer, right? But very few people actually consider these things sometimes when they're figuring out their marketing strategy, as you know. So we have been working really hard on developing that process for our customers, and we've been implementing some stuff in our own company too. And so that's what I'm here to share with you today. So this is the audience participation part here. So how many of you have ever had a phone call come in and you look at the screen and you go, oh, it's hard? Raise your hands, come on. All right. Or have felt like this when you're talking on the phone to them. Or you get an email in your box, the ding comes in, you look at it and you go, oh, I wish that went to spam. Right? So it's not uncommon, everybody's got one or two, but when it becomes 5 or 6 or 8 or 10, you start to feel like your whole world, is that. You start to dread your email, you start to look at the phone and, constantly put it on, straight to voicemail, and you don't want to feel that way when you're at work, right? So what are some of the reasons that you can feel that way about your customers? A big one with us was the speed. The speed that the company that you're working with works at. So, a lot of people in the room here are small businesses, or sole proprietors or whatever, and we're used to, you make a decision, you go, you act. And if you're working with a big company who has to put everything through committee, it can be frustrating sometimes, right? So, when we first started our company, we did a lot of custom software development before we really got into a lot of marketing work. And one of our main clients was University of Michigan. And, there were some clients there at the university that we really loved working with. But as a whole, the university was could be difficult to work with sometimes for a small company, Put a proposal in, 90 days later you finally hear an answer, right? You put an invoice in, 45 to 120 days later, sometimes you get paid, right? And so that can be okay if it's one of the customers you're working with, but if that's all of your entire customer base is at an organization like that, or several that don't fit the way you need to work, it can make it really tough to do something. So that's an example. Conversely, you may be an organization that's growing, and you're working with a lot of small customers who are used to being able to call the owner, right? They're calling you and you're thinking, oh, but I asked my team member to do this. Why do you keep calling me, right? That can be an issue too when you're growing and you're trying to change your organization. Your customers are still stuck with the way you used to be when you started working with them. So the speed that you're responding to people can be an issue, whether or not it's they're bigger or you're bigger. So that's something to consider. That can be a cause of problems. Culture and style fit. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. It's a little weird in the news lately. Here we've got a real conservative over here, not so conservative maybe on the right. Have you ever felt like when you're working with your customers that you guys are just talking like this, right? You're suggesting really exciting marketing things for them to do, and they're just sitting there going, I'd rather just do a flyer, or I'm used to doing billboard ads or whatever. But social media can really help you. And, well, but that's not the way we've always done it. right? So that can be a difficulty too, when the style that if you're an innovative company, you're trying to suggest new ways to market them, and your customer just says they want to do that, but they don't ever really want to act on it, that can be a problem as well. Here's another one. I know nobody's ever had this happen. A client with Big Mac budget, filet mignon tastes. Anybody? Yeah. When you say, well, tell us about some websites that you like. Well, we really like Amazon. Okay. Well, how big's your budget? Well, we have about a $2,000 budget. Well, So managing expectations with customers like that when their tastes may be champagne tastes and they don't have the budget to work that way, that can also be a mismatch. And that can cause problems because every time you go to suggest something new or you send a bill for something that they've asked you to do, right? Suddenly it's, you charged us $50 for 7 hours worth of work? What? Right? Nobody's ever heard that. So again, between budget, culture and style fit, speed, there's many other reasons that I'm sure we could all list of customers that haven't fit with you. Who's got a good customer story that they can share that's 30 seconds or less and doesn't involve naming any names? Anybody? Come on. Nobody wants to incriminate themselves. I guess we are live streaming this on video, right? So we don't want to incriminate ourselves. Okay, well, I guess since nobody wants to share, I'll keep moving. But you do know that this is the way your world can feel when you're working with customers that don't fit the way you work, right? You may sit in your car outside your office and think, oh, okay, I can do this. I can get it, go in. I have this meeting with this customer today. I know it's going to be a big battle, but I can do it, right? It may feel like, like everything is a major ordeal. Good news is, there's hope. Yay, yay. We don't want to be all negative, right? So the good news is, when you stumble on, usually it feels like it's stumbling on, all right? But suddenly you get this client who you're just clicking, right? Everything you suggest, they get it, they're willing to pay, they value what you're charging, they value what you're offering them, they're telling their friends, right? Suddenly you feel like you're in the groove and you think, oh my gosh, how can I model this, right? How can I replicate this over and over again? And that's what we're here to try to figure out today, is how do we put a process on this so that you can define what these characteristics are that make you love this person, define the characteristics of people that you're trying to avoid, right? And figure out how to change the way your products and services work, your marketing works, and various other things to make sure you attract the people that you want to keep working with, okay? The other thing is to keep in mind, this isn't all about us. This is all about also helping our own customers. Right? Because sometimes part of what is happening with our customers is that they may be unhappy, right? And that's trickling down to their work with us. So it's possible that their company has grown and changed, and we're trying to help them continue to market the things that they've always marketed when in fact they really want to change, or they need to change, or they have changed and they're still working with customers that fit their old model. So as marketers, it's really important for us to help guide them to some of these realizations, because sometimes they're so close to it, you all know, right? You're so close to something that you just can't see it in yourself. So that's another thing, that you can use this process when you're working with customers as well as yourself. But it's always good to practice on yourself first. So what is the process that it takes? Trying to find out the non-feedback-free zone here. The first thing you need to really do is define who your ideal customer is. And we're going to go through an exercise in just a few minutes to help you figure out how to do that. So you need to define it so that you have something that you can compare people to and look at whether or not they're fitting or they're on the way to fitting. Because sometimes, everybody can't be perfect right out of the gate, but at least they have the potential to get there. Sometimes you hit it off with somebody and you think, oh, this is going to be a great fit. And then when you go back and compare it to your ideal customer, you go, oh yeah, but they don't have a lot, right? Or, well, they're a really nice person, but they just seem really resistant to change. And that can be a problem in a project like ours where we're trying to suggest that people do things differently. So you want to have a clear definition of who it is you're trying to work with. The next thing, once you figure this out and you've got it all defined, you need to make some changes in your own processes, your own organization, to make sure that you are doing you're doing what people are expecting from you, that you are marketing yourself and attracting the right types of people to your business, and that your team is ready to serve the customers that you're trying to attract as well. And finally, once you have defined it, you've figured out how to change your processes, and you've implemented some things in your company, you also, you need to communicate with your own team, with your potential customers, with your partners, so that everybody knows what's going on and that you're making changes. So now that everybody has food in front of them, we've done this earlier, I guess, we're going to do a little exercise. So Bonnie's going to help pass out cards here. And on one side of the card, I want you to take just a minute and think about that customer that you were picturing when the voicemail picture was up, or when the picture of President Obama was up earlier. And think about what the characteristics are that drive you crazy. So we'll start with that, and then after that, we'll spend a couple minutes thinking about the characteristics about the customers you love. So when you're thinking through this, I want you to think about a few different things. If you look at the diagram up here, you want to consider things like attitude, outlook on life. Maybe it is this culture or style fit. Are you a really optimistic person, and the people, maybe some of the customers you're working with are really negative, and that's what makes it difficult to communicate with them? Or vice versa? Think about the revenue that these companies have, or the individuals have that you're working with. Are they small businesses, and once they get to a certain size, then you don't like working with them because things slow down? Are there people, is it a particular size marketing budget that people have to work with? Think about what industries people are in. So maybe you have, if you look at your favorite customers and your unfavorite customers, maybe everybody who's in the no column is, a manufacturing company. Maybe it turns out that you just don't like marketing manufacturing companies for some reason. So sometimes when you start to write these things down, that's when you start to see these trends. So who can give me a couple of just bullet points of things that you've written down without naming names again? Somebody, on the left side there. What makes you crazy? Mike?
Indecisive.
Oh, all right. How about you? I'm sorry.
Actually, I was going to say that you have to say the same things over and over.
Oh, okay. When you have to repeat yourself?
After myself, and they have to repeat themselves.
Okay.
Over and over.
Good.
Customers that don't know how their own business works.
Oh. He's got a good one. Customers who don't know how their own business works. That's a good one.
Lack of planning, so that you're getting it really late, and then they want you to rush it, and they don't even think, they're just say, can't you do it tomorrow, or
Right. So
things like
disorganized, emergency.
emergency, yeah, emergency.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
Procrastination
Procrastination.
goes hand in hand with indecisive.
Right. And so what is it about, are you guys both really organized, and is that why that drives you crazy, or is it, yeah? Is anybody here disorganized that can't stand working with people who are organized?
They have like, oh my God, you can't put the red folder in the blue side. You know what I mean? Like if they have
What's wrong with
the
that?
extra process.
Who else has something? Anybody? Those are all good ones. And so, as you think through those things, you may want to look at yourself then and say, well, why is it that drives me crazy? Is it just because my style is like this, and I want to keep trying to change my customers, and they just, gosh darn it, they would just see my way, right? They can see that it was better. You got one.
I just wanted to add another one is customers that think that my work should be free.
Oh, okay. So customers who think that her work should be free. You're not a volunteer organization? You're not a nonprofit?
No.
But that comes down to, again, sometimes is it because they don't have the budget, or is it because they don't value what it is you're offering? It may be both, but those are important things to think about. Okay, so we have the what makes you crazy side now. Now, let's go to the positive, please. And spend a couple minutes thinking about what is it, if you picture that customer where when the phone rings, you go, oh boy, I wonder what they want me to do today. Right? Or, wow, I have a meeting scheduled with them and I can't wait, that's going to be so much fun, and at the end of the meeting, I'll feel like the hour and a half just flew by. So picture that customer for a second, and then write down a few of those characteristics. Is it their attitude? Is it that when you suggest something, they're always open to it? Do they value your opinion? Are they actually listen to you, the expert that they have hired? Or do they always, I'm going negative again. Could it be that when you think about where their company is going, where their business is going, that they have a particular growth path, or that they have a particular vision for their company that you can really get behind? Sometimes that can be a key aspect as well. Some people really like to work with nonprofits because they really get passionate about the cause. So that might be something else. For people who, I'm assuming here everybody's a marketer, I may be assuming that incorrectly, but you also, when you're thinking about people who are, in retail or are selling to consumers, you want to think about the demographics of, do I really like working with women, or is my product or service really, good for a particular segment of age group or gender, occupation, all those kind of common demographic characteristics. All right, so who wants to share? What do you love about your clients?
They recognize and are willing to change.
Okay.
I think it's a team.
A team.
A team.
So you like working with a team?
I think that we're a team.
Oh.
So they and I are a team.
Okay.
So if something goes wrong, we work together. If something goes right, or we need a new idea, we work together. So
it's collaborative. More.
Yeah.
As opposed to them assuming you're going to fix it, or that you just are going to do whatever they tell you to do.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Zeke, you said willingness to change?
Willingness to change, recognize that they have to change because the world around them is always changing.
Yeah.
So a recognition that there is a need to change and a willingness to do that.
Okay. So willingness and to change and openness to that. Mike?
I like working with folks who are goal-oriented. There's a lot of motivation, but it's directed.
Right. That's very good. We like the same thing. One of our characteristics is working with companies who have a strategy and quarterly goals, right? That if they're in a quarterly rhythm, that works really well for us because that's the way our company works as well. We have a very strict process of setting quarterly goals and evaluating our strategy and all this other stuff. So when we work with people who are kind of, I don't know, sometime in the next few years I want to do this or that, it drives us a little bit crazy. I saw a hand over here.
I like people who are mission-oriented.
Okay, mission-oriented?
Yeah, passionate about what they're doing and really feel strongly about benefits of their service. I like services more than products.
That's really great. So the service-oriented, mission-oriented. Maybe you got one more?
Somebody who really understands that by purchasing services, they're making great investment.
Oh, they're making investment. Okay. That's good. Yeah, sometimes people expect instant results, and they have to sometimes understand that they have to be willing to make a long-term investment and wait to see change sometimes.
Depending on the larger organization, sometimes the earlier pain if they don't know how their business works, like many other things, is actually a great opportunity because there have been a number of calls I've had where I'm the knowledge source between large divisions. They're learning what X is doing because I just met with Y last week.
That's great.
So these are opportunities you can leverage.
Right. So for you like to help them figure out the answers to those
I
problems.
enjoy figuring out where the opportunities are.
Yep.
Normally they're from the petty annoyances.
Right. And I think that's interesting. I talk to a lot of people who do what we do, and there is kind of a certain segment who really likes to work on the business side of the client's marketing, and figure out how what they're doing is going to fit in with their long-term goals and their sales strategy and kind of the big picture. And then there's other people who are just like tell me what logo design, tell me what you want your brochure to be, and let me just produce that. And both things are fine, because there are clients who want that, and there are clients who want this. But that's the key thing, is to know who you are and what you want and what you like to do, and then look for the customers who are looking for that, right? Don't try to be something that you're not, and don't try to make them be something that they're not. That's the key thing. So there's a lot more that can go into this. We usually run like an hour-and-a-half session on this when we're working with our customers on defining this. But so this is just kind of your quickie exercise. But the next thing to do then is, so it's, you don't want to just walk around with this piece of paper, right? And every time you talk to somebody, you pull it out of your pocket and go, this doesn't seem like they're a good fit, right? You want to have a really clear definition that's something that you can use to talk to your to potentially give out to referral partners, that kind of thing, so that everybody can figure out what it is you're looking for. So you're going to recognize that, because this template that we use, is based on something that Sandler uses with their company to work with their customers on how to define, who their ideal client is. And so what we're doing is, with our customers and in our own company, when we went through this exercise, we then created this one-page form, essentially, that's our ideal client profile. And we have a description of what exactly it is that we do and who we like to work with. We have a section for who people we like to work with, organizations what we like to work with. Also, what they're looking for and what they place. So for us, because internally then, when we have website and conversation with them, we can be looking for red flags, green flags, things that they're saying that will tell us whether or not they're going to fall into this, or at least they're on the path to that. Now, it's very rare that you find somebody where you check every little bullet point on this thing, right? That is the holy grail, and you should, fall at their feet and say, please be my customer, right? It is very rare, but again, at least when something is a mismatch, you know what you're getting into, right? You say, well, they fit all these other things. Seems like maybe they're a little indecisive, but at least I know that, and I can work with them on making decisions in a structured way, instead of just leaving it up to them to figure out how to do it. So you can adopt strategies for dealing with the customer if you kind of know where the potential pitfalls are. So the next thing I'd like you to take just a minute to do is to look at your list and try to come up with one sentence that summarizes the characteristics that you love. Okay? So here's ours. Our favorite clients view us as a partner in their growth. Somebody else mentioned this, right? Because they know we are passionate about taking an integrated approach to helping them achieve their business goals. And we strive to combine the logical and tactical, left brain, with the creative, right brain, to achieve whole brain goodness. So that's just our one sentence summary that we came up with to guide how we select the customers that we want to work with. So take a minute and try to come up with one sentence, even if it's something as simple as, we like to work with customers who are decisive, who view us as a collaborator, who are disorganized like I am, who, whatever. You can just list out those characteristics. That's a great start. It doesn't have to have a lot of finesse and beautiful prose. And then I want somebody to volunteer to share. Bonnie, next time we should bring prizes. I have probably a squish Snickers bar on the bottom of my purse that you guys can find over. All right, does anybody have one yet? Anybody? Mike? You know this.
Can make something up.
Go for it.
All right, so our ideal clients, they sell a big ticket item, so sales matters, and they're really motivated to improve their business and goal-oriented and take action, and they love us.
Excellent. That was,
So that'd be Marissa.
there you go. Dee, you said you had one?
My favorite client wants to grow their business, is open to investing in their future, and willing to manage the change within their organization.
That's great. Good. All right, thank you for sharing. So, when you go back to your office, go straight there, turn off the phone, don't open your email, and finish that sentence. Okay? So now that you know who your ideal customer is, so let's pretend you've gone through this whole exercise, you've got that one-page profile, and you've got this clear view. Some people even they'll find a picture, and they'll name their ideal customer, and they'll say, Bob, he's our ideal customer, or Judy, she's our ideal customer. And they put it up in their office, and they always talk about Judy or Bob when they're talking about who they're trying to sell to. They develop these personas for people, so you can consider doing that. But the next thing you got to do is go live it, right? So you can't just break this thing up and then say, all right, ideal customers, bring it on. You have to do something in your business usually to make sure that you're going to attract these customers. So the first thing we usually recommend is verifying your value proposition, which is a bunch of marketing buzzwords, right? But the key thing is to really look at what it is you're offering and make sure that what you're offering matches with what your customers are looking for, okay? So you want to look at your products and services. You want to talk to your customers. What a novel concept, right? Go talk to the people who you love and say, what is it that you love about working with us? What could we be doing better? What are you struggling with in your business that we could be helping you with? And maybe it's not that you need to do something differently in your company, but maybe you just need a strategic partner. Maybe a lot of your customers are struggling with sales, and they need sales training, right? Maybe a lot of your customers are asking for video, and you don't want to do video, but you know a great company that can help you with that. So if you look at your broad products and services that you offer, and compare it with what people actually want, you can also use that to eliminate things that maybe you do a couple things a year, but it's really a big distraction for you to keep offering that service. And when you realize that when you're going down the path here and you're going to get these types of ideal customers, they're not going to want that anymore. So maybe you just stop offering that and you focus your energies on what these guys want over here. So what we did is we made a matrix, wrote it on the whiteboard, and we made columns of everything that we offer in the areas of paid search, social media, web development, strategy. We wrote all this stuff down, and we said, okay, we can confidently say that we can do these 25 things. And then when we went and talked to our customers, we heard them say, we really would like some additional assistance with video, and we'd like some additional assistance with email marketing, whatever. And so we thought to ourselves, okay, well that's an area where we can build up on our skills. We can hire somebody. We can look for a partner. And we heard some people say, you keep talking to me about this thing over here, but we're never going to do that. And we said, all right, well maybe we should stop harping on that and focus on these other things that are going to help them achieve their goals. The next thing you need to do is differentiate yourself. Now, we all do similar things in here, right? But we're all very different. There's a lot of business in town here. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of nonprofits, a lot of organizations. Somewhere there's a good fit for somebody out there. And so it's important, though, to make sure that you can really identify what it is about you that makes you different. Because by being very honest about that, you're going to attract the people who are going to be good to work with for you. So you want to look around at your competitors. Who is competing in your space? In terms of the size of customers you typically work with, what your sweet spot is. Some businesses or individuals are really strong on design, or they're really strong on technical coding, or they're really strong on video, or maybe they're strong in a lot of different areas. So you want to think about what are those things that you just kick butt at. Now this doesn't mean that when you're looking at your competitors that you're going to go around saying, you don't work at that company because they suck at this, right? That's not the way to do it. What you want to do is promote the things that you're really good at. Because you want more of that work where you can really shine. You want to identify your key messages, right? This is probably obvious stuff to people who help people do this, but it's really hard to do it for yourself. Let me tell you. When we took our own company through our own process, it was painful. Because, we spent so much time thinking about others that it was really hard to take ourselves through this process and look at ourselves really carefully and what we needed to stop doing and start doing more of. And you may need to generate new content. You may need to look at those marketing materials and go, how we say we do low-cost web development and, simple, logo design or whatever, but we're saying that we want to deal with mid-sized companies. Maybe we need to change the language that we're using to talk to the types of customers we're trying to attract. So when you're looking at those key messages, when you're looking at the content on your website or your other marketing materials or the blog that you write, you want to think about who am I talking to here and who am I attracting. The next thing is you need to check for consistency. So if you change your company description and say the whole brain group works with growing companies, that blah, 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 and it says it on your LinkedIn profile but not on your website, or we all know that we have like 45 different places where our company is listed. It's important to make sure you go around and look at all those places where you're listed and update your profiles. So we actually went through and we looked at our own marketing strategy, yes, right? And we said, some of the things that we're doing, some of the places that we're networking, some of the content that we're generating is aimed at a particular market segment. But we've really found that as we work with a broad range of types of customers, that we really love to work with this sliver right here. So we're going to really focus on that sliver. And we're going to try to, not to say that everybody else, we're never going to work with them, but that's our favorite group to work with. And so we had to really go through and look at our strategy, who we were marketing to, what our messaging was, what types of activities we were doing. We had to up our budget, right? We had to actually think of ourselves, the time that our company spends on marketing as a client. We created a project in our time tracking system where we track how much time we spend on our own internal marketing. We realized that we weren't really thinking of ourselves in the same way that we treat our own customers with their marketing. We went and reviewed our marketing kit, all of our different materials that we have, business cards, the website, our handouts, all those other things, and made sure again that our messaging was consistent, that what we were portraying to people was going to attract the right types of customers. And we examined our networking and referral strategy too. We went back and thought about the people that we have referral partnerships with, and we created some new partnerships with companies who work with companies in that space that we're trying to move into a little bit. So that was really important for us. Not that we abandoned our old partners, but we had to expand what we were doing. So one of the things that we discovered is that we needed to actually, like I said, take our own company through our own marketing process. And this is our visual representation of our marketing process. And so we went through it ourselves and said, all right, we're going to have a kickoff meeting. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to take ourselves through our own ideal customer profile exercise. We wrote it up. We did a competitive analysis. We did an SEO and website review on our own company. We took ourselves through this whole thing. And we came up with some really great stuff by doing that. So just consider applying your own process to your own business. Groundbreaking stuff, I know. All right, so just to summarize, you want to verify your value proposition. You want to figure out how you're going to differentiate yourself. And you want to check for consistency across all of them. And then finally, you got to communicate this. So we have a team of 12 people now. And I couldn't just have a brilliant idea and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and not tell anybody about it, right? Which is the curse of the boss that always says that, right? You go off to a conference, you have an epiphany, and you change company direction, you don't notify anybody. So we had to go through a big effort at our company to make sure everybody understood why we were working towards this new ideal client profile, what it was going to do for our company long term. What we needed to do differently internally to make sure that, as we're working with larger customers now who are growing companies who are expecting results. So we can't just say, hey, look at how many hours I spent on your project anymore. We have to say, and look, your sales went up by X, or your website traffic went up by Y. So those were all things where we had to go back and retrofit some of our processes and our reports and some of this other stuff that we had never had to do before because our customers didn't want it. But now our customers do. So, so there's this chicken or the egg thing that had to happen. So a lot of team training went on and is still going on. We had to go back and talk to some of our referral partners and tell them, okay, all these people you're sending to us, this is great, but these people you should send to somebody else now, and if you get anybody like this, send them our way. And then we went back and talked to we went and talked to all of our customers as well, and said, you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out about our new strategy and where we're going. It doesn't mean that we're going to abandon you, right? What this means, though, is this is what's changing our company. I had to explain to people that I was no longer the primary contact for every single project, and that we had a new person in charge, and that they should talk to him first. And there's a lot of things that people had to adjust to as we made these changes. And you might have to fire some customers. You might have to say, you know what? No matter how hard we try, it's just too much work to keep those people as customers. It's not cost effective. It's not profitable. And unfortunately, we're all in business and we have to make a profit. So you have to look at that and say, this customer might be better off with somebody else. And honestly, they'll be happier if they're getting the service that they deserve. And finally, prospects. You have to go out and start to educate people on what it is that you are trying to do now. What you're doing differently, talking about new topics like ideal client profiles, right? You may have to go to different types of networking events and do that kind of thing. You have to think about where are the people that I'm trying to attract, where do they hang out, and make sure you're spending time there. Doing what you always did may not work anymore. And finally, what's next? Measure how it's working, right? We set a goal of we want to have 15 customers who fit our ideal client profile by the end of this year. We're halfway there, and it's the third month of the year. So we're pretty excited about that. So we might up that goal, Bonnie. But that helps us determine whether or not what we're doing is working or if we need to pivot again. So we're looking at website traffic, we're looking at number of followers on Twitter, we're looking at number of leads coming through the website, all of those things that again that we measure for our customers, but we don't always measure for ourselves. And if we discover that something needs to change, we're going to do it on a monthly or quarterly basis, depending on what the rhythm is for our strategy. Questions?
Marissa, before we take questions, I just want to offer a great thank you for a fabulous presentation. And this is an organization that is really living their own product and service. And highly commend you for taking yourselves through that marketing process and really looking internally and getting your own house in order. Well done.
Thanks.
Brilliant. So questions? Stacy?
I had my question the whole time, and you sort of answered it at the very end, which was, what do you do with the non-ideal clients?
Right.
So you have two different kinds. You've got ones that you've had for 20 years, and now I'm going to go back and we're going to revamp everything. What do you do with them? And then two, the new ones that are calling on the phone that you immediately know, this is trouble. So do you actually just, tell me, you actually just say, go to Kinko's? I say yes to everybody. I can't even think of that.
Right. And part of what we did is we had to set the stage for it. So we didn't just go in the first meeting and say, by the way, we're not going to help you anymore, right? We had kind of a couple of conversations like, hey, great news, we're growing, and here's what's changing, 2 weeks later, hey, great news, we found a referral partner that might be able to do this even more effectively or cheaply than we can, Hey, great news, you should just go work with them. But, because, like you said, there's a relationship there, and, if it's a personality fit problem, it's usually to everybody at some level. in your best interest, I know you're going to be served this time. Yes, it's going to be hard, and I'm going to position, but I care about success. I know that they're going to serve better. I had that with my team. We have all these people now, and people are coming to me, and I'm like, I don't know anything. I mean, I do. You know, I say, like, I don't know how to fix your. It's better. Certainly. And then again, we found that if you have a referral partner who is a good fit, because there are people who want to work with that type of customer. They only want to work a few hours a week or whatever, whatever. So we have people that we refer people to, and then we don't feel bad about, like, good luck with that. We actually can help them.
That was a great question and a great answer. Do we have any other questions? One more from the floor? Okay, well, Marissa, again, thank you so much. Please put your hands together again for Marissa. We are now going to pass the microphone, give you a chance to introduce yourself and maybe what you do or what you're looking for. Please stand up, speak into the mic, and we'll kick off with Karen.
You just described the 40-some years as a nurse with patients here.
Hi, I'm Glenda Haskell. I'm a professional life coach helping people to make their dreams come true.
Oh, okay, sorry. It was off.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello. Okay, well, anyway.
Did you turn that off?
Hello, there we go. Whatever. All right. Hi, I'm Tom Crawford, and today what I'm going to mention is this Saturday. So people have been around, have heard me say this for weeks now. This Saturday in Waterford, Visual Literacy Conference. You can check it out at vizliteracy.com, VIZliteracy.com. We're bringing in some 9 amazing speakers from all over the country to talk about giving good presentations, mind mapping, doing video, anything that you need to visually communicate better. So vizliteracy.com this Saturday in Waterford.
Hi, my name is Eric Chapman. I work full-time for a beauty and clothing company in Dexter, and also do a little bit of side work for a company in Linden called Little Cottage that does social media.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Thomas Blackwell, principal owner of Impel, a training and development company.
I'm Cliff Sheldon with Ann Arbor State Bank, also a volunteer with SCORE that does counseling for small businesses.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacy with Dollar Bill, the local digital print shop.
Mike Wynn with Sandler Training, and like I said, I really like motivated customers who are goal-oriented, and typically they come to me for 1 of 3 reasons. Either they hate selling, they have to wear that hat, they're not comfortable with it, or they don't have enough of the right kinds of prospects to get in front of, or the third one would be they're just not closing the business. So Mike Wynn with Sandler Training.
Hi, I'm Joni Hampton. I work for Torrance Learning, and we work with companies who have lots of learners to create convenient online training.
Hi, I'm Julie Mosley with Accent Advisors. Actually transitioning out of that, I'm going to close my business, so I'm here to network and to see what opportunities are out there for marketing.
Hi, I'm Jody Brown. I'm here with JB Interiors and Graphics, LLC, and I am a person that can bring organization out of the chaos of your commercial and healthcare office spaces.
Hi, my name is Leslie McGraw with Let's Go, and I'm a startup helping people, organizations, and businesses find success and be leaders within the community where they are right now, mainly through the help of social media and building online relationships.
Hi, my name is Dan Lewin. I just recently graduated from Michigan State University with a Bachelor of Arts in Advertising. I currently am a digital marketing intern for Ingenex Digital Marketing.
Hi, I'm Brant. I'm currently a student at University of Michigan College of Engineering, and I am also currently an intern. That's awesome.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Jusek. I am hosting a 2-day hands-on workshop called WordPress DIY, where you will walk away with a WordPress website that you built, can manage, and market yourself. So if you're interested, see me afterward.
I am Ross Johnson with 3.7 Designs, which is a web design and development company. I'm speaking at the WordPress DIY workshop, so if you're interested in getting a WordPress website, you should check that out. And I'm also attending Tom's Visual Literacy Conference, which I'm excited about.
Hi everybody, my name is Jim Musial. I'm with Technology Digital. We're a web and mobile development company right here in Ann Arbor.
Hi, my name is Linda Baker, and I work with JVS in Southfield. It's a nonprofit. This is a great presentation today because they hired me to try to go out into the business community and tell everyone what they do. So I'm working on a strategy right now. But basically the easiest thing, we bring job seekers and companies together. So we allow free website listings on our website and have people coming in for career training who are looking for jobs. So if you're a job seeker or a company looking for, we bring the two together. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is T. Rose. The company is Financial Pathways. I help people find money that is slipping through the cracks.
Hi, my name is Scott Phillips, and I work with the Innovo Group. We're an innovation consultancy here in Ann Arbor, and we help clients identify opportunities they otherwise overlook.
Hi, my name is Mark Johnson, and my business is Marketect Me. My specialty is marketing and education and social media for the design and building products industry. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Bob. I'm with Mobile Exhibit Specialist, put trade show booths on wheels.
Anne-Marie Smith from Indemnity Advocates. We're an insurance and risk management consulting group. People generally come to us for either they had a loss and they don't feel like they're getting what they paid for from their insurance company, or maybe their discussion with their insurance agent on renewal is not as productive as they'd like it to be. We can help them with both those.
Hi, I'm Lisa Bradwick, and I'm a consumer product marketing specialist. I have experience in product planning, sales analysis, and licensing, and I'm looking for new opportunities, and I'd really like to help a small business grow.
Hi, my name is Brad Ritz, and I just recently finished an internship over at Stone Interactive, a small search engine optimization company, and I'm looking for new opportunities, digital marketing.
Hi, I'm Brian Beecher. I lead a technology team at the University of Michigan, and I'm pretty pumped up. I'm going to go back to the office and fire a bunch of my customers.
I'm Roger Rayle. I'm an information consultant, so I also help a lot of the networking groups around with their video and getting the message out. But I also help people take their data and understand it and put it in a presentation form that helps with decision making.
Hi, I'm Dennis Skupinski. I do sales and marketing and also help Roger out with the video.
Hi, Jane Delancey, Delancey Design. We provide design services for small businesses and individuals. And I love my clients. I feel like the luckiest person. I wonder if it's that Sandler training I took. Anyway, Jane Delancey, Delancey Design.
Andy McCall, I'm with Early Stage Partners. We're a local venture capital firm.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I am the project manager at Ingenix Digital Marketing.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Valentine. I work with Marissa at the Whole Brain Group. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing. And I just wanted to mention that in case you're stumbling over how to get started with social media or you'd like some tips on search engine marketing, end of March, April, May, we have social media and search engine marketing courses that you may want to check out on our website, thewholebraingroup.com/events.
I just wanted to mention one last thing. We are going to be posting a couple of internship positions next week. So keep an eye out on social media and on our website because we're going to pump up our own marketing over the summer, and that's going to be the job of the interns. And we will have a strategy they can follow and the whole 9 yards. So, thanks.
Hi, I'm Roger Rayle, Frog Prince Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer.
I'm Dee Davey, Creative Ideas Marketing. I help companies who provide business-to-business services to grow. Clients come to me when they're concerned or frustrated because they know they need to do something differently because the world around them is changing, and they're not quite sure of what to do to grow their businesses. Dee Davey, Creative Ideas Marketing. I'm also the voice of Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing, and it's my pleasure to introduce next week's speaker. And next week we have Google coming to talk about the tools that they have available for nonprofits. We have Colby Chilcutt and Elise Guilfoyle. I've heard these two women speak about 2 weeks ago, and the tool set that Google makes available for nonprofits is fantastic. So if you are a nonprofit or you know of any nonprofits who would benefit, please pass the word. It's a great presentation, and there's just a whole wealth of resource available for nonprofits through Google. Yes, Roger.
And you have to be here, because they're not allowing any video.
Thank you for pointing that out, Roger. We normally video all of our presentation, but Google is one particular company that we're not allowed to do that for. So please invite your nonprofit clients, friends, relatives, or if you yourselves are a nonprofit. That wraps us up. Have a great week. I hope that spring is finally here, but I'm not holding my breath. Have a great week and see you next week at Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing.